A man is behind bars for allegedly stabbing his roommate to death. At around 5:05 p.m. on Sunday the 6th of July, authorities responded to a residence at 4930 Hiawatha Avenue in Minneapolis, Minnesota on reports of a stabbing. When officers arrived, they entered the premises and observed a large amount of blood on the floors and walls in the living room. There they found 25-year-old Adan Adiraman unresponsive on the ground with a stab wound to his neck. Medics rushed him to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. While on scene, officers recovered a knife with blood on the blade near the front of the home. Witnesses reported that 21-year-old Sincir Malik Porter, Abdiraman's roommate, argued with him before the incident. One witness initially thought Sincir had punched Abdiraman, but then noticed blood pouring from his neck. Sincir reportedly told a witness that Abdiraman made him flash out before fleeing the scene. Surveillance footage from the home captured the altercation, showing Sincir and Abdiraman arguing over $15. In the video, Sincir was seen holding a knife in his left hand before he switched the knife into his right hand and stabbed Abdiraman once in the neck. Abdiraman appeared to be getting into a fighting stance before he realized he had been stabbed and collapsed to the ground. Officers searched the neighborhood for Sincir, eventually locating him about half a mile away on 54th Street East, where he reportedly said, "Yeah, you got me," when an officer confronted him. After being read his Miranda rights, Sincir allegedly confessed to the stabbing and admitted to previously considering killing Abdiraman and other roommates, adding that they were lucky they didn't get in his way. Sincir was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, and he remains held at the Hennepin County Jail on a $1 million bond. A man accused of hurting a woman at a motel has been arrested for attempted homicide. At 11:27 p.m. on Sunday the 6th of July, Rock County Sheriff deputies responded to a disturbance at Redwood Motel at 3912 North Hackbath Road in Janesville, Wisconsin. Authorities said that 46-year-old Jon Schneider got into an argument with his girlfriend after he became jealous that one of their neighbors at the hotel was talking to her. His girlfriend told police that he called her derogatory names, pushed her, grabbed her hair, hit her on the head with her phone, threw her phone across the room, and kicked her in the shins. He then pinned her against the door, strangling her. The woman said she was unable to breathe and momentarily lost consciousness. Jon told her repeatedly that he was going to kill her. She was able to break free and call 911. Jon left the motel, but law enforcement found him nearby. He denied any physical contact with the woman. The woman was taken to the hospital, where doctors observed injuries consistent with being strangled. She also had cuts and bruising. The woman was released from the hospital, but medical staff contacted law enforcement the next day to bring her back for emergency surgery, when scans revealed she had life-threatening internal damage to a carotid artery, putting her at risk for a stroke or death. The doctor said the injury was from the strangulation. At the time of the incident, Jon was reportedly on probation for another incident with his girlfriend, where he was accused of battery. He had a no-contact order with her. The woman told police Jon had a history of violent and controlling behavior. She said during previous incidents that were not investigated by law enforcement, he caused her to break her pinky and her ankle. Jon also required her to transfer all of his money to his bank account, so he had financial control over her. Jon was charged with attempted homicide, battery, strangulation, intimidation, disorderly conduct and probation violation. He remains held at the Rock County Jail on a $100,000 bond. A man is in custody after allegedly fatally stabbing his father with a sword in Omaha, Nebraska. At around 6 p.m. on Thursday the 3rd of July, police responded to a residence at 18537 Polk Circle following a report of a stabbing. A woman called 911, informing dispatch that her son, 53-year-old William Pay, had stabbed his father, 85-year-old Sung Pay, with a sword. Upon arrival, officers located William seated in the living room. They also found Sung unresponsive at the base of their basement stairs, with multiple stab wounds. Medics rushed him to a local hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A search of the home led to the recovery of a sword, and William was taken into custody. During a post-Miranda interview, William allegedly admitted to stabbing his father during an argument. The details of the dispute remain unclear. William was booked into the Douglas County Jail on charges of first-degree murder and use of a weapon to commit a felony. On Monday the 7th of July, he appeared in the Douglas County Court where his public defender noted a history of mental health issues. A judge ordered Willing to be held without bond. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 12th of August. A man is behind bars after he allegedly strangled a woman in front of one of her children while she was holding a 6-week-old baby. At just after 10 a.m. on the 7th of July, police responded to an apartment complex in Fargo, North Dakota, regarding a domestic situation. When they arrived and started approaching the building, a man walked towards them and kneeled on the ground in the parking lot and put his hands behind his head. The man, later identified as Phillip Glaser, told police that things had gotten physical between him and the woman, but said he didn't hit her. Police entered the building and made contact with the victim, who told them that someone had taken her vehicle without her permission and gotten arrested after being chased by police. She said this angered Carl, and he got in her face and started yelling at her, threw her on the couch and choked her. She said she got choked for 15 to 20 seconds before he grabbed her by the arm and tried to drag her out of the apartment. She told police that all this happened while she was holding their 6-week-old child. The victim reported that Carl fled the building with the child, and when she pursued him, he kicked her in the knee, resulting in a visible cut noted by police. She also admitted to grabbing Carl's necklace and throwing a box of crayons at him to get him away from her. The victim's 3 children witnessed the incident. The oldest, a 6-year-old, confirmed to police that they saw Carl strangle their mother while she held the baby, noting that her face got really red during the alleged assault. Carl was booked into the Cass County Jail on charges of aggravated assault on an adult and child neglect. The investigation is ongoing. 64-year-old Frank Lawson will spend time behind bars for stabbing a victim over a dispute about a line at a gas station in 2023. On Monday the 7th of July 2025, Frank appeared in the Greenville County Courthouse in South Carolina and pled guilty to assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. A judge sentenced Frank to 17 years in prison. On the 18th of June 2023, Frank and the victim reportedly got into a disagreement about who was next in line at a local Spinks gas station at 498 The Parkway, when Frank retrieved a knife and stabbed the unarmed victim in the throat. Authorities said the man survived due to the quick response of Greenville EMS and the medical professionals at Prisma Health. 30-year-old Tesean Beard of Midfield, Alabama faces an aggravated child abuse charge after a 5-month-old son suffered critical injuries. On the 1st of March 2025, the infant was rushed to a local hospital, unconscious and pulseless. Medical exams revealed head trauma, fractured wrists and arms, and possible rib fractures, with doctors attributing the injuries to shaken baby syndrome. Authorities confirmed the child was in Tesean's care at the time. The infant remains on a ventilator, with no hope for survival or neurological recovery. Tesean was arrested on the 9th of July and is being held without bond at the Jefferson County Jail. Deputies in Florida have arrested a mother and grandmother after finding twin 5-year-old girls alone trapped in a shed. At around 3 a.m. on Saturday the 28th of June, a concerned citizen in Waldo, Florida contacted the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, reporting that 2 young children had been abandoned. Deputies responded to a property in the 13500 block of Northeast US Highway 301. There they met 2 witnesses who discovered 2 5-year-old twin girls locked inside a shed. The witnesses reported that the shed's door was secured with a brick placed against it, preventing the children from leaving. The shed lacked electricity and running water, and deputies noted a large knife within the children's reach, posing a significant danger. The girls were found unharmed but malnourished, disheveled and dirty. The witnesses identified 2 individuals connected to the incident, 59-year-old Sabine Thrift, the children's grandmother, and 37-year-old Tamara Stoiber, the children's mother. Authorities said that Tamara had arrived unannounced at Sabine's house with her twin daughters, intending to leave them in her care while she ran a quick errand. However, Sabine reportedly refused to supervise the children, stating that she did not want to babysit. Despite this, Tamara left the girls in the shed and was gone for several hours, far longer than a brief errand would require. The children were left without food, water, or any means to call for help, creating a hazardous and neglectful situation. Following the investigation, deputies arrested Sabine, charging him with 2 counts of child neglect, and she was booked into the Alachua County Jail on a $20,000 bond. Tamara was also taken into custody, charged with 2 counts of child neglect and 2 counts of false imprisonment, and a bond was set at $70,000.